Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Dungeons and Dragons with your friends here with Through the Tomes. The other way around. Through the Tomes, fun Dungeons and Dragons adventure with a group of patient, fun, awesome friends, being guided through a nice campaign of Dungeons and Dragons by an amateur DM. I'm Petey Rave, the aforementioned amateur DM. Here with me is my party, my squad, my team, my crew. We've got playing Wind and Summer, Daisy.
I now have 5 post-it notes of skills that my character has.
It's monks, man. We've got Toby. I'm playing Toby. We've got Toby Underwear. We got Brett.
I have no post-it notes, but I also don't have like 5 actions every action. We're getting to that point in the monkery.
Yes, the monkery of it all. Playing Lucius Zanero, we've got Matt.
I also have no post-it notes, but I have many quick start guides from my car.
Mm-hmm. And of course, last but not least, playing Solero Talion, we've got Drew.
I was going to make a joke about how I was waiting for you to say something so that I could say hello and then grab the Taco Bell that's at the door. And then he said monkery. And all I can think of is Mary J. Blige as a monk. And that makes me laugh.
Okay.
That's random. Okay.
Yes.
There will be no hateration or holleration from this monk.
Yes, there'll be nothing but monkeration. That aside, as Drew gets his Taco Bell, let's talk about this. We're doing Dungeons and Dragons, of course. This is Through the Tomes where we talk about where we do Dungeons and Dragons through a campaign built by existing material that's available out there. Campaign settings, adventure modules, a bunch of really great tools showcasing those. Show you how easy and fun it is to make a fun little cohesive campaign of Dungeons and Dragons, even if you have little to no experience. We're doing a couple things. Of course, we're using Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. Really great book, really great campaign setting. Of course, it's from Critical Role, a great show and a great world built by the incomparable Matt Mercer. If you're not familiar with Critical Role, it's a huge thing, but it's definitely worth checking out, obviously. But yeah, check out Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, the book at your local bookstore. We're also obviously doing stuff from standard D&D stuff, including the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. We've actually started incorporating. I gave everybody optional features from Tasha's Cauldron, including extra spells, so you might see a few of those. I know Matt I don't know if you still have that book within reach. If you have the actual physical copy, I've got the digital version of D&D Beyond that I'm sharing with everyone. That's just a dope looking book.
Their limited covers are really good.
Yeah. But yeah, go to your local bookstore and get support your local businesses. It's with really cool by buying really cool stuff, including that book and Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. You can probably look up that information on Wizards of the Coast.
Also, shout out to Sci-Fi Factory in Keller, Texas. They sell those for the same price as the regular ones, unlike a lot of other places. They do not gouge you.
Nice. So yeah, go support your cool businesses like that, because you'll also probably find really cool friends and communities to enjoy things like Dungeons and Dragons and other tabletop games with. Of course, shout out to Griffin Saddlebag, where I like to cull a lot of the magic items,
all your saddlebags.
A lot of all of the featured magical items that are featured on this campaign have been from Griffin Saddlebag. So they're worth checking out. Their Patreon, support them there. They put out basically every weekday an item every weekday, and they're always fun and interesting, cool, and I'm always looking at ways to incorporate them. But yeah.
Speaking of things that we need to incorporate, that is some Baja Blast. I swear that has got to be Baja Blast.
Yes.
And we're about to confirm.
Yes.
Drew, is that Baja Blast?
Are you
A frozen Baja Blast.
A frozen Baja Blast. I just,
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. That makes me feel good. I am a trash connoisseur.
Yes. But yeah. All right. As we recap, now that I have it in my memory, I'm gonna start the sounds. Start with down below.
I would just like to note that for 2 weeks now, for some reason, every time you say the wave chaser, I keep thinking you say the vape chaser, and then I get these images in my head.
Yeah, the vape chaser.
Oh man,
3 earrings vaping at the
yeah, and these like big just
pillows.
As a Subaru WRX goes flying down the road with a guy wearing a DC shoes hat.
The Vapor Chaser is the name of the ship in the Cyberpunk version.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Also forgot to mention, still drinking the Funky Buddha, Pineapple Beach.
And
So
I am drinking Ugly Pug Black Lager. I almost said lacquer.
Speaking of of vaping, I will never not think of how if the guys at Make It Mortal Kombat, the guys if Ed Boon had some bravery, they would update Smoke and call him Vape.
Yes.
And have like Jeff Gerstmann brought that to my brain. Never since. I want one of those robot cyborg ninjas to beat Vape.
Yes, and it'll come he'll appear as if somebody blew him from a vape onto the floor, like just off frame, like in those like.
You got to make it smell like watermelon and bubble gum.
And then you hear an explosion off frame, and that's
the dude that used to vape at work, like while he was working, used to do lemon flavored one, and I was like, you could have literally anything, and you chose lemon.
Like,
I would go with lime, but sure,
lemon lime.
I mean,
Just
lemons.
go for Sprite.
Topical.
Yes.
Lemons are always a choice.
All right. Let's make this lemonade.
Sometimes the choice is made for you. Sometimes,
yes.
Sometimes you have to make lemonade. Weird, gross goblin lemonade.
Yes. All right. So let's get started. Let's get recapping. So, where we're at now. The party narrowly escapes the sinking Flora Isle onto the Wave Chaser. They met some of the crew there. Met a few of the team and met the captain. Proposed a treasure expedition for them to partake in. Treasure expedition to hunt some of the treasure found that it's basically see what happens to take care of the Sawajins because the leader has come into possession of a particularly powerful magical scepter and other magics and that are completely unusual for maybe a Sawajin of her type. So they agreed. They negotiated terms. After negotiating terms and dividing the gains, they discussed. They agreed. Then they set everything in motion. They also had further discussions with the crew. They had spend the night singing songs. There were observations there throughout at the night, and then they had a nice restful night's sleep on the Wave Chaser. and then Lucius had a dream, seemingly of the Wild Mother imbuing him, or at least letting him know that he's strengthened and he's gained new controls over his beast forms, his beast change abilities. Now he's able to kind of take on the form of aquatic creatures below a certain challenge rating, and also maybe a portending message that may have come not from the Wild Mother, maybe from his own subconscious, for some hidden desires. But other than that,
I'd like to think that all the characters in this, when they talk to you about stuff like that, they're very flat out like Metal Gear Solid characters.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's a challenge rating in world.
I must grow this large baleen.
Yeah.
I must be this large aquatic creature.
Yes.
I don't know what aquatic creature you're going to be. I'm excited.
Well, it'll be depending on what's needed.
I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's his decision to make. But yeah, as you wake up in the cabin that you were afforded on the Wave Chaser, you kind of have you know that you have a whole day ahead of you, because they're making their way to Port Damali. It's gonna take about another day, just to go there safely, not speeding, because they've got a lot of people and they might have had speeding, but it's going at a good pace. So what do you all have in mind? What do you all want to do on this day that you have on the ship?
I'm probably going to get my spells in line, like, because I know what I have a feeling I'm going to get into some aquatic adventure. So I'm going to prepare myself for that.
Yeah.
Certainly not work. None of that.
You guys do anything else in particular? Talk to anybody on board?
No, I'm going to be antisocial and I'm going to play my lute.
How's the bard antisocial?
He needs a little Toby time.
Little Toby time.
Gotta refresh.
What else is going on so that Toby can have a choice of activities to do?
I mean, so all you see is
I can yes and.
Yeah. What you were, Lucius?
Oh, I was gonna say I just kind of want to keep an eye out for any sea creatures that may or may not be that may find themselves strangely close to the ship.
Okay. Yeah. I would say you would see you would observe that there's nothing particularly that seems out of line as far as the creatures that wander around. Like, you might see like a couple of dolphins right along the ship, but like how they would normally, like you've seen dolphins right along the ship because they're curious and they're just looking at you and they just dive in and then they do their thing. Or you see a pod, and but nothing out of sorts. Your standard like birds flying around, things like that. Because you're at this point, you're kind of like not too far out of the opening of the bay, so it's more like you're not on open sea. You're more on coast, like not you don't see the coastline line, but what you seem like close to coastal waters. Yeah. So
okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, as far as what's if you're looking around, you notice that everybody's just business as usual. The crew is maintaining pace, maintaining the sales. Let's see who is
What's Chavo up to?
Chavo. Whatever Solero allows him to do.
So what's Mortal and the Pseudo Dragon up to?
Mortal woke up. You do know that when you woke up, you didn't see Mortal, but you know it's because he kind of wakes up a little earlier than you guys. And when you went up, if anybody that went up noticed, he was on kind of like the bow of the ship in a flat area, just kind of like splayed out and basking. Yeah,
Nice.
doing his thing. Yeah, that's what he needs to do. And then as far as let me.
I hear birds.
Yeah, that snuck up on me too.
Yeah, wayward like seagulls and things like that. Not off in the distance. Yeah. So basically, you see, everybody doing the thing. Heidi Axbeard at the helm, out there, keep an eye on. The Kajori kind of would go up to her, let her know some things, and then would go back to his post, observing, making sure that they're going on a good course based on things. And then the rest of the crew, and in on the actual ship, you see that the refugees are making do. They've got their, like we mentioned before, they've got the setups up on their they were provided some sustenance. They also taking from their own stock, and they're making food, spending time, just kind of like hanging out, playing games every once in a while. Like there's a couple of kids that are just running around playing tag, or some form of tag, things like that. Just some hijinks. Yeah, just seems like business as usual. On ships that you've seen before. Yeah.
Probably going to find a cozy corner and do some meditation for a couple of hours.
Yeah. Concentrate like on your mindfulness.
Maybe down in my bunk area. Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say, me and Chavo grab some.
For me, when there's an initiative,
I grab a drink.
What is the drink?
Chavo. I'll grab Chavo, like maybe a bowl of water or something. I'll grab a drink, and we'll go sort of watch out for land and sort of look over the side of the ship.
Quite a visual that I'm painting in my head.
Are you watching the dolphins?
Of me and my goat friend.
Are you pointing and smiling at the dolphins?
Yeah.
No, but I'd like to think Chavo was and like motioning at the dolphins.
Chavo seems interested and confused.
Seafaring mountain goats.
He's like, then looks at something to climb on. And then like and maybe a little like nauseous as everything kind of waves. It was like, Chavo every once in a while he'll like throw up a little, and then he'll.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, and then mostly nothing.
I mean, I guess mountain goats are ungulates, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just a little. It goes. But yeah. I think it says. Oh wait, no, that's fine. But yeah, it mostly just kind of like watching the ocean a little odd because he's out of place, but he's doing fine. The pseudo dragon, just kind of like I would say he was hanging out with Mortal while he was basking. But then at some point he goes up to the crow's nest, kind of like curls up and just kind of like his perches up on the crow's nest, just to kind of like look around and get a nice view. Yeah. It's mostly an uneventful day, so if you all, I don't know if you all have anything in particular you want to do as far as like conversations or things or tasks, or we can just like have the day and then go forward to like the evening and to the night's rest.
I'm good with that. I figure Summer would just be meditating and probably just kind of asking where she can help out until dinner time.
Yeah. All right. So, unless there's anything else, we'll move on to kind of like everybody just kind of does their things. Summer helps out here and there. Anybody else that does decide to help out will, you'll help with like with distributing food to the refugees, help with like cinching sails and things like that. The usual work that you guys have done in the past as hired hands. At whatever level you guys feel comfortable contributing.
Yeah, and then, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, and then you guys doing it's a nice day because you're going at a comfortable pace because they're trying to keep everyone comfortable as they're going through. You at some point you do see, I would say midday, you do see off on the horizon, to the west, you start to see land. You start to see the kind of the land formations of the coastal areas of just east of Palmaflora. Do you remember those coastal areas? You notice that you're getting into Damali Bay. You start to coast in there. Yeah, and then so that you guys work day, you guys sail nice and comfortably, and then in the evening you guys have your dinner. You guys have your dinners with the crew, and everybody kind of like eats either with the group or just kind of off on their own. But there's a gathering up on the top deck of everyone enjoying food and games and card games and singing songs and drinking and plenty of drinking. Just enjoying the evening. There's ale, there's beer, there's rum. There's all kinds of
Lots
options.
of rum.
Yes. And there's frivolity to be had. So I would say the big thing is one more thing. So as you have your evening, I will say you're doing that as you're finishing up your meal and just kind of having your post-meal drinks. Lucius, you do. I'll just say you do notice. Let me see what was the name. You do notice Deshar Call doing the same thing. About at least doing the same thing, or seemingly about to do the same thing as she did. the evening prior.
Okay. I would like to. Let's see. Okay. Is there any way I can get within 30 feet of her point of interest?
Okay. You can get up and walk over there. You can.
Yeah.
You can do. And do you do so just casually, or do you just?
Yeah. What I want to do is, I think I can do this. I want to cast Detect Thoughts on the creature, not her.
So
see if I can kind of intercept what it's getting told.
So, okay. So, which way? So, which way do you go?
But I like it.
Yeah.
Ask that again.
Which way do you go? Do you go up to like the banister, right, or like 30 feet over from her? Do you try to like?
Yeah, I figure I'll probably need to be near the banister, so just kind of, go look at. Hopefully the moon is on this side. Just admire the view. Just look at the water.
Let me see. Let me try to get the. Let me try to. Ooh. Okay. Story. So.
I guess it's not showing up in Fantasy Grounds, but I can.
No, I haven't popped it up yet.
You have it. Okay, cool.
But I'm just going to just judge it. I'm gonna say it's over here. So you see her up on the banister and kind of like a hidden thing. I'm gonna say
I don't know if I can see anything wide.
Right now. No, you can't see anything right now.
Okay.
I'm just looking at everything.
That's fine.
Yeah, based on where everybody's in, you're definitely, even if you're at, you're just observing to kind of your side, even if like say 5, 10, 20, anywhere you would say, I would say even seated, you would be within 30 feet of her without having to move.
Okay. What about the sea creature though?
You don't see one right now, so you would have to, because it's over in the water. If there is one.
Yeah, so that's why I want to go over to the banister to see if I can see a creature in the water.
Do you want to go there? So just walk over there. If you're just gonna head over casually, so let's see. And let me also check your character. Okay, so you should be able to go over there. Let me get, because I also let me double check on this person what their perception is. Okay, so you walk over to the banister, and do relative. I'm gonna say there's like, let's see. Relative to, so there's about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. There's about 30 feet worth of banister, depending on how close you want to be to her, depending on how much suspicion you want to arise in her.
Right. My hope is the least amount, but like, if once I get up, do I see any dark shadow in the water?
Okay. I'm gonna say once you get up and walk over, like in the center of the ship. Let's see how far out would you. I'm gonna say. It's actually wondering how steep because how high the boat is. Let's say you start to see something like a dolphin on the surface, like I'd say 5 feet from the banister.
Okay.
And then now I also want to see your spell.
Yeah, like I want to get kind of keep my distance from her if I can, but within 30 feet of.
So you pull out your little
banister.
copper piece that from your component, just kind of. So then there's some. And then I would say, as you approach the banister, to kind of just like look like you're just observing. I'm gonna say, since you're basically trying to fake something, I'm gonna say give me a deception check.
Okay.
Just see.
Wow. That was a lot of time spent for that. Okay.
So you're just not convincing anybody that. So and then, she kind of looks over at you and just gives a bright smile, and then just just has her hands on the banister, looking out in the ocean. The dolphin kind of just starts to meander. Am
I able to detect its thoughts at least?
If you want to,
again. I want to do it on the dolphin.
Yeah. Yeah. You can. Are you gonna try to be inconspicuous about your somatics?
Well, I was under the impression. Yeah. Short answer. Yeah. I thought that's what I was rolling for.
No. Your so the deception was walking up to the banister, looking like you're trying. The deception was do you succeed in looking natural?
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna have you give me a sleight of hand check. Okay. I'm gonna give you the vocal. You can mumble under your breath on the vocals and she's a bit out of earshots, but somatic parts of your spell you have to kind of be particular and not arouse suspicion.
Yeah. Maybe she'll roll poorly.
Yeah. She's kind of, as you try to be subtle about it, obviously your spell goes off. She kind of looks at you again, and then she kind of turns around and goes back to the group. As far as its thoughts, let me see. Sorry, let me look at the spell again. Detect thoughts, creatures. And on Eastern. Okay, you can focus your mind on a creature. Creature has intelligence. It doesn't. Let me see.
Yeah. So.
Let me look up.
Yeah, I don't even know if the dolphin has an intelligence high enough.
It could be. Dolphins are pretty darn smart.
They're the second smartest creature on the planet, according to Douglas Adams.
Yeah. It has an intelligence of 6, so yeah. So
Cool.
yeah, it is not unaffected. You learn.
Rules.
So you learn its surface thoughts, which of course are, we need to get off the planet. We need to get on the. No, I looked up the plans. They're just gonna do the byway all through here, and they're just gonna blow the planet up. So I mean, it's the at that moment. It's not words, obviously. It's a dolphin, but you kind of get the impressions of thoughts of food, thoughts of maybe trying to like think about where the pod / family / community, you know, that thought of community, family, pod, you know, where they're at, maybe a little confusion on its location. But let me see. Yeah.
And if it's close enough, like if I have time before it swims away, I would like to probe deeper.
So okay, so let's see. Okay, with the okay, so let's see with okay. I'm saying, so your save DC is 14. Let me go to an NPC. Dolphin.
While he's checking numbers, this is the part of like slushies that I hate. Yeah. Where there's enough to like you want to finish it, but not so much that you can finish it easily.
Yeah, you gotta let it melt.
Yeah,
it's like a little bonus for later.
Okay, it's +1 to
I just poke it until it gets wet, and then I slurp it up. Which phrasing? But...
okay. So you try to probe a little bit deeper into its thoughts, but unfortunately, you feel the spell fizzle out, and you disconnect, and it just kind of goes on its merry way. It kind of like looks around, kind of looks over in your direction, and then just kind of swims off.
Interesting.
So
did she not the dolphin, but the Dajar call, did she was Captain Three Earring in the group that she went to rejoin?
What would she do? She's yeah, it's like Three Earrings is there, and she's kind of enjoying her food, looking at it. She's in the group.
Okay.
She's not really like she's enjoying her food, and she's there, and then she rejoins the group, and kind of like they share a nice smile, like a pleasant smile. Let's say a pleasant smile, not necessarily anything else.
Okay.
Just like coworker smile. More like that.
The closed lip that the white guy closed lip smile.
But yeah, and then she just rejoins the group.
Okay. Cool.
You do anything else, or observe from you, or do you rejoin the group, or just kind of stay with the banister?
Yeah. Is it like is it one group, or like would it be odd for me to join the group, or would it be like, hey guys, how's it going?
As your passive perception, you observe that there's a center group that kind of like is hanging out, drinking, you know, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. And then people come and go.
There's a basketball hoop?
Close.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sure they're playing some kind of like ball thing. And then like people kind of like come in and out as they need to. Presumably some to just kind of like enjoy their drink elsewhere, or obviously to go to the bath to use the one toilet.
Right.
Like you do see every once in a while one person come back, tap another person, taps another person like like oh, okay, they're letting him know that all right, I'm done. You can have it.
Nice.
The toilet in the back, underneath.
Okay, yeah, I'll join them. You know, get a refill.
Yeah, and depending on how stationary you are, or if you're coming back and forth, you do notice that subtly, Jajar tends to try to stay away from you. Not obviously, but she'll like or not be as close to you, or like, you know, she's not making a show of it. She's not, you know. She just kind of makes sure that if there's an opportunity, have some distance or have a person or two between you two.
Okay.
You notice that at Three Rings is spending quite a bit of time hanging out and being with her crew. You know, and especially even in pairs and in different members, seems to just be casually doing that. Like if she's been like, she just wants to, and then she'll also have moments where she kind of like goes off on her own and maybe to think about something.
Okay.
Feels true to her character. Good integrity.
Don't want to get too friendly with the crew.
No. Yeah.
Because then we'll find out that the treasure all along was just the treasure of friendship.
Was the sailors we listened to curse along the way?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. The booties we've the timbers we've shivered along the way. But yes. Anything else? From the crew, you know, how did, as far as eating, as far as like spending the night's meal in frivolity?
Nothing in particular for me.
Mm-hmm. So we just
nothing.
head to rest.
Yeah.
You have a particular order you kind of like filter off and tuck in for the night?
I think I would have probably ducked in early.
Yeah.
Not wanting to drink too much and not wanting to make a show of not drinking too much. I would have ducked in a little early.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I'm not
I
out
will.
too late.
Yeah, I'll take a little nighttime walk again.
Yeah.
You know, the whole 30 feet back and forth, or however long the ship is. 50 feet.
And presumably Toby, you just kind of like play some tunes, and then do you call it a night fairly early, or?
Reasonably early. I don't know. When the crowd starts to trickle off, I'll probably stop playing some music.
All right, so that kind of like you guys kind of like all filter around.
Can't make a lot of money off of refugees very often. So,
but you do lift some spirits.
I'm doing this. Yes, I'm doing this for out of the kindness of my heart, so I can call it early.
And you get some practice on some songs you're a little less versed in. Some different shanties. You lead a few.
God of black magic, Selkie.
Yeah. So you guys filter in. Eventually, everyone kind of comes in to the cabin you're all afforded in the below deck. All right, let's do this.
Roll initiative.
You guys have a good quality, uneventful night's sleep down below. Nice and comfy. Well, for relatively, I mean, for you guys, since you guys have at this point experienced sleeping aboard a rocking ship in cabins. You kind of all have your own way of coping for those that have a little bit more trouble, but you guys have a nice good sleep, comfortable, and then as you have your nice comfortable calms dreams and whatnot. The night gives into day. Fairly early you kind of like hear some knocking that kind of startles at least one or two of you awake. Hear a gruffled, a kind of a gruff voice. Here, wake up, travelers! You hear it, and it sounds like, as from hearing and observing, as you figure it's the voice of Boerth, the kind of the male human, the kind of the more gruff male human. One of the crew members who rouses you from slumber, swinging the door open. The sun is barely above the horizon, but you can just make out the docks of a port through the porthole window of your cabin. It's past dawn and time to get moving. So and he walks off.
Okay.
As you guys
get moving.
Yeah. You guys get yourself ready. You don your accoutrement.
Not my bathing suit.
As much fun as that was, no, not your bathing suit. Let me see. I also gotta make sure you guys get this. Okay. Alright, so Port Damali is a couple of you have been here before. A couple, definitely, I believe I've set it up that at least Toby and Summer have been to Port Damali before, so it's not new. I'm gonna say Lucius has probably been here at least once, if not twice. Yeah.
That seems right.
I would say Solero probably hasn't had a chance. So this is fairly new to Solero. Yeah, it is a beautiful, massive coastal city. The the let's see, Port Damali. You see, it's hard to really get a sense of it from the port, obviously, because it is pretty. All you see is kind of like some of the closer buildings, and maybe a little bit further back, a few more prominent buildings past, like to get an idea of the. Let's see. Or I'll share the Port Damali map. So it's I think I'm sharing it. The Port Damali map.
No, there it comes.
there it
Nothing's
is.
popped up for me. Oh,
Yeah.
there it did.
So
A
yeah,
red question
you're
mark
down
came up
there.
from it.
You're down there at the harbor.
Oh, there it
Like,
is.
you see some, and you're obviously it all extends northeast. This massive city. You can see that there are buildings built on kind of like at different elevations, and as you don't see it's impossible to see all of it. It's a huge city, but you do see as it goes up, you start to see bigger buildings, more elaborate buildings, until you get to like the crescents up top. You figure that there's more. Those who have been here know that beyond that, you're closer to the ports. You do have like the Larboard Light and the Gildan Esplanade, and the crescents is where like the rich folk live, and you know that Plastit is like places like the Beaded Alley and the Tumble Downs, which is kind of like the low income housing, or to be kind, or to be more close to more like the Port Damali's version of the favelas, as it were. Yeah, you kind of like you see you kind of emerge from the but that's what you can see off in the distance just from as you start approaching the port. So you're not on the port just yet. When you emerge from the cabin, you find that the refugees are already packing up the few possessions that they were able to save. You start to go up there, up to the top. Quite a few of them. Several of them walk up to you, say thank you, like, greet you, shake your hand, thank you for rescuing them. The one of the refugees, a little bit older, middle-aged man, says, that mentions that he has business contacts in the port, and he can arrange that he's taking care of. He's arranging to help the other refugees find shelter, a place to stay and plan their next moves. So they have that taken care of. There's a couple of them that are a little bit more wealthy, obviously, and they're gonna figure it out themselves. They have resources, even if they don't necessarily have money on them. Rich people, they don't necessarily need money on them. they have the promise of money. But yeah, and then but the gentleman, he was able to draw on funds from the refugees to as thank you. It's not much, but I was able to gather some gold for you guys. So he hands you a pouch, about 100 gold pieces, and whoever probably Toby, who often comes off as like the leader, hands Toby a small pouch of gold, about 100 gold pieces worth of gold. As gathered
Nice.
from the
Your gold
refugees.
pieces worth of gold.
Yes. Worth of gold. Yeah, and you do see Joao and what was her name? Joao and Alonza from the when you first were attacked by the Sawajin, the half elf and the tiefling. They thank you profusely. It's like, thank you so much for your help and to getting us to safety. We were hoping for a much better Zenith celebration. Sometimes you can't have them all. Hopefully we'll be able to go back next year if there is a celebration in Palma Flora, but who knows if they're gonna do the shark hunting again.
Yeah. We can hope.
Yeah. And they thank you, shake everyone's hand, and you see them all off, and okay. Okay. This is yeah. So everything gets gathered, and the ship gets docked. Things get set up. Things get tied off. Everybody starts to trickle off of the ship. You kind of like set off on. And presumably you guys set off of the ship fairly quickly, I presume.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of like gets off.
Yep.
It'd be good to be on solid ground again.
I'm a lover of this.
You see 3 earrings, of course, was ahead of you. And I believe, let me see, who would have been the person to lead as far as like discussions. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you see, three beards, 3 earrings, and Heidi Axebeard kind of lead. They're the first 2 to step off the ship. They walk up. They contact one of the dock masters there. Make sure to communicate with them. They get some, they trade pleasantries, and they walk off, presumably to the quartermaster, the dock whoever's in charge of communicating, and take official paperwork and whatnot. 3 earrings hangs back. She kind of sees your group and is like, all right. All right. So be sure to stock up on whatever supplies you need. There's a smithy, in particular that I need you to contact. This is a person that's going to be the one to provide us with the equipment we need. Let's see. Yeah, so he's going to be providing us with the equipment. Let's see. His name's Hector. He has a shop further down the port called Hector's Port Damali Armory. Not very.
That's
Hector's port side.
Like franchise there?
On a port side, I was a port side armory. Hector's port side armory. He'll be there. Just hand him this letter. Be sure to hand him there. Don't open it. It's just confidential information between me and a business partner. Hope you understand. But he'll have the info he needs for what we need for this mission. Hand him that, and he'll be able to provide you what you need. Aside from that, of course, he is a skilled smith, so he can provide you with any basic armory needs, any basics you need as far as like armor, shields, weapons, and things like that. Nothing too big. This isn't Zadash, obviously, and he's not an enchanter, so he's just gonna have your nice, inexpensive, straightforward stuff there. But yeah, be sure to stock up on supplies. We just want to make sure we're expedient. Be sure to get back within a few hours. Before it gets too dark. Let's say before nightfall. We're gonna head out while there's still light today, so we can get going on this expedition. Okay, but yeah. Have at Port Damali. Welcome to Port Damali. Enjoy your few hours here, and I'll see you back on the ship.
All right.
And she kind of saunters off as a with kind of like this with the effortless a walk, kind of like
Her feline sachet.
yeah.
It's not like a Ruth's Chris kind of situation. It's
yeah.
I feel like we should go find Mexican food since we're at Port
Tamale.
Oh.
Yeah.
but
Nice.
All right. So there was a couple of things. So, this is your opportunity for this one mission, and then there's going to be opportunities for shopping. Do you guys what would you guys like to do? Head straight to Hector. Look around for a place to get supplies first.
I was gonna look for maybe a weaponsmith or of some sort. Just
Hector will be your left. Yeah.
Oh, what do you? Okay.
Yeah, he's got everything as you need is for supplies. At least according to Three Earrings, it's like he's got your basic supplies, and
We may as well start there. Although if I guess it depends on whether he'll have it right away or not. I don't know if we want to be carrying around an apparatus. Multiple apparati.
Well,
I've got burlap sacks.
Yeah, we
can
got
hide 'em. You got pockets.
And then as you guys say this, mortal kind of pops in. Don't forget, I've got this guy, and he points down.
Oh yeah,
and he's got his bag of holding. So he's like,
oh yeah,
we've got it covered.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm thinking we should probably just try to find Hector, but along the way, see if there's anything interesting that we could hit up on the way back.
Yes.
Initiative roll.
that sounds good.
Don't
don't do that to me, Brett.
So if you guys are keep an eye on things, you are able to see. You start walking your way down the kind of the boardwalk as you see, a lot of activity. Port Damali is a beautiful town. It's got a fairly diverse population, kind of wandering about. You see a sizable amount of humans, but they're present, but they're not as majority as some of the other towns are. You do see a nice size of, I was about to say sizable amount of halflings. But you do
I
see,
mean, small is a size.
yeah, you do see quite a few halflings, quite a few elves. You do see orcs and half orcs, and you see tieflings, and you see canids, you see tabaxi. It is a diverse landscape of people kind of wandering in the marketplaces and things like that. And as you kind of like are observing, you are looking around at the different shops, and you see like tailors, and you see like supply stores. You see people selling street food, things like that on the port. You do notice that there's let's see, port general features. There's at least you see at least a couple of general goods stores as you go along the way. You do I'm gonna say especially Lucius. Lucius, you notice that there's somewhere where it seems to be a scrollery.
A scrollery.
Yeah, a place to it's like a place somewhere a place has advertising that you can buy, or is listed as a scrollery. And then you stop by, you kind of like spot around the corner what looks like it might be an apothecary. You don't take it in because you're trying to make a good pace, but you do spot them along the way. You know that you can come back and get them. Yeah, it's a lively city. You do notice that it's a beautiful and lively city. The docks though are a little smelly and a little weather beaten. But like like any good, well weathered old dock of a big city, And there's some,
Right.
and it's not all savory folks. So you just kind of you keep an eye out.
It's the umami folks that I'm.
Some of them are sweet, some of them are sour.
Yeah.
Salty.
That's right.
Some salty dogs.
Oh yeah.
It's a restaurant called this. Sorry.
Yes. But yeah, as you're kind of walking by, you're still by the docks, you're still by ships. You hear a very like faint voice calling out, "Summer, Summer!" And you're like slapping. You hear like slapping feet, "Summer!" And Summer, if you turn around, you see a very familiar, I believe, dwarf. I believe Berlin is a dwarf. You see Berlin Tidebearer.
Wait, Berlin Tidebearer? What are you doing here?
And you notice him running towards you, and then behind him, where he came from, you see a ship kind of offloading people and supplies. And you see Darren O'Malik kind of directing things. You do see Hral there helping out, hauling things.
Hurrah!
Yeah, awesome.
Family
business.
reunion.
Oh,
Berlin kind of runs up.
Wow.
And he was
Talk
like,
to him.
His cousin Cody.
Summer, and wonderful to see you. I'm glad you made it up here safe.
Yeah.
Wonderful to see all of you as well.
Yeah. Yo.
the rest of us matter to you.
It's like he kind of sees. It's just like
I'm the
sees the person who's-
professor, and Chavo is Gilligan.
Yes. Well, how are you all?
Rain.
How do you fare? How were you able to make it out here?
Well, we all made it out safe and sound. Yeah, we were on Flora Isle when it started to sink.
Oh
And
yeah.
we were attacked by some vicious creatures. Some
Yeah.
big, some even bigger.
Yeah.
And we saved some tourists, we think what they were, but some innocent people from some sharks, and asked them to load up on the wave chaser, and Captain Three Earrings brought us here.
Ooh.
So yeah, we've got some refugees from the Isle with us.
Oh, okay. And it kind of looks and it looks around. Where's your ship docked? And then you point to back to where you were, and he's like, "Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, we brought quite a few people here. Luckily, it wasn't too bad on the mainland as far as deadly creatures and attacks. It was mostly structural damage from the earthquake. So we kind of mostly just bringing people that were a little bit displaced from the earthquake damage. You know, some homes kind of, especially in the residential areas. So we're bringing in some of the refugees and getting supplies to go back. Luckily, the temple is okay. You know, it's a sturdy temple, and the respite is okay because that thing's survived so much. That thing is supposed to survive war, so that thing's fantastic. And then in the meantime, Darano kind of like saunters up. Yes. Luckily, the bigger buildings and the offices were fine. Just a lot of homes. You know, Palmaflora you can handle a storm, but it was never made for earthquakes. Earthquakes really don't happen there. Like, it's just not. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad to see you all safe and sound.
Good to see you guys as well. Is there any suspicion that the earthquake wasn't a natural occurrence?
I mean, we figured. I mean, we don't know how it would be done, but we figure it wasn't natural. There hasn't really been an earthquake around here ever, as far as I remember.
Good to know.
There's nothing documented. Yeah. Summer. While you're I just remembered. While you're in town, remember how we talked about you wanted to follow into kind of the teachings of Cobalt Soul. Be sure to take advantage of. There's a library here. It's open to the public, so everybody can go there. Obviously, you'll have to be escorted while you're in the library. You'll each get an escort, but at least from what I've heard, but anybody can come in and learn and study. But I believe that might be your best bet for getting the proper training. I think we did okay with you and some of my monks down there, but I think going straight to the Cobalt Soul is going to be your best bet for getting really connected with that way of style. Plus, there's a ton of books there, and you might be able to get answers to some of the things you've been looking for. Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of old books, yeah. From what I've heard, a lot of really old books there.
Do you know where I can find this library in town? Do you remember? It's been a while since I've been here.
Been a while. I think.
God damn it, Petey, you can't do shit like that.
I believe it is closer to the close to the house. Okay. Oh wait, I know where it is.
Are you circling it on the map?
Well, I'm trying to remember. Oh. Oh, Tay. Where did I pull it up before?
Bass guitar.
Oh, hey. I actually, oh, damn it. I don't know. I have it set up. I have some
Okay,
Bias FX. I could put a Blue Line SVT up, and I could grab this Mustang bass alongside, and I could send it right through the tubes now.
yeah.
We could have live bass guitar talk with the bass
Nice.
guitar talking itself.
All right, but yeah, as he stops to think, okay, I believe it's centered somewhere within somewhere within the Gilded Esplanade, maybe over west. Don't remember. It's been a while since I've been up here in Port Damali, so but I remember it being in the western part of the Gilded Esplanade.
Okay. Hey, that's a good start. Thank you.
Well, there's like and I don't know, because it pipes up and says like, all right, well, wonderful. If you don't mind, I'm going to get back to get everyone situated. Enjoy your time here in Port Damali. Hopefully, by the time you guys run around back to Palma Flora, we'll have things a little bit back to normal. But at least the respite will be waiting there, and my offices will be there, so we'll be working on that. But thank you again. Farewell, my team. And he kind of like bids you adieu, and kind of like walks back to over to the group. As you go over there, you look over there, and Joao makes eye contact, waves. This is waves hi. Hi. And see some of the people that you kind of like met and hung out with. Besca Wells is there as well, and she kind of waves over there.
Do we see the bartender from Flora Isle?
What's
her name?
No.
What was her name? Fluffy.
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 You don't see her here. Yeah, not with this group.
Maybe she made it across the bridge.
Yeah.
Maybe she's still,
Yeah, you look around, I would say she would be, yeah, she's next to Besca, helping out. Yeah. With her helping out with getting situated and talking to people and maybe writing some things down for supplies. They're stocking supplies in.
All right. That makes Summer feel more reassured.
My legs.
Help! Murder! Mayday! Home a leg!
Yes. All right. And then you guys are back on the road to Hector's.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Berlin kind of like sends you off. It's like, okay, enjoy, and then he also walks off. And
looking for Hector's, and I'm looking for a public library.
Yeah. You do see. You don't see anything that like is marked public library. You see the occasional bookstore, like a bookstore, but but you kind of remember. You remember that I would say you remembered vaguely that of the library here in Port Cobalsal, and it took Berlin reminding you for that to pop back into your head. I would say you remember that might be the main public library available to people. Anything else would be like kind of like bookstores. There's no Port Damali library system with branches throughout.
Bummer.
Just need that main branch, the one and only.
You just need to have some like rich robber baron to will some libraries to small towns around Wildmount.
You do see like bookstores, and you'll be like looking at. They have some like books laid out as like examples. You'll see like a bookstore has like a few books there, like in things, but you know, some more like fun, mainstream, popular, tawdry stuff like Tusk Love. You've heard before.
My encounter with a dolphin.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, most of the stuff. As you kind of walk by, that's mainly what you would notice. Yeah, as you kind of like you make your way down, you do see you see you come up onto Hector's portside armory, and you kind of like walk in, kind of like we kind of walk through the door. There's a middle-aged human kind of like working behind. You see a counter. Behind the counter, you see obviously like what you would expect at a smithing. You see the full accoutrement, the anvil, the kiln, the setup. It's a little balmy in here. But there's open windows. Kind of let a little bit of the port breeze in. But it's still a little, balmy in here because there's hot magma. Yeah, hot things. Yeah, he's kind of hammering. How? Welcome to Hector's Portside Armory. What can I do for you?
Who has the letter, by the way, from the captain?
Yeah, I was just wondering that.
I'm gonna say she probably gave it out, and I'm gonna say she at least signaled it toward Lucius.
Okay, yeah, I will have grabbed it.
Yeah.
Yes, that happened. I was there.
Yes.
Are we gonna assume that we pre-talked about not opening this letter?
Oh yeah,
definitely.
When we were out of ice, I shot. I don't open it, but I do like hold it up to the sun to see if I can see anything through it.
You see ladders and words and things like that.
Like it's overlap.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's over. Let me see.
Are you Superman from that one movie where he sees the handwriting in the desk?
Because
I see in big bold letters, "Stop looking through this letter into the light."
On one side of the paper is just big bold, "Don't be a dick."
How much of a letter?
2 cups flour, 1 tablespoon salt. Wait, this is a recipe for cookies.
There's actually a recipe hidden in Portal for cake.
So, if you do look,
It'd be cool if
not much of a letter
other than cake.
I'm gonna say you'll probably be able to make out some of it. I'll say, wait. You do kind of take a good look at it. We'll say it in secret. It's hard to make out a lot of the details because it's written in handwriting. It's pretty detailed. and it's hard. It would be easier if you can open it and look at it dead on because it's a little bit muddled and faded. But you do see, like you definitely recognize maybe revelry. Maybe like questions is unique enough.
The
word questions.
Okay.
And and then this is mostly you interpreting some words because I would say because it's a little like you maybe interpreting what you can see in like the darker areas, and like shipment because they're like bigger words and maybe requisitioning, maybe requiring, requesting, requisitioning. That one is a little bit. You're mostly interpreting what you might see as far as reading.
Gotcha.
And like shipment and something about unhammed, up harm, something like that. But you can't quite make it out. It's probably not those words, but like it's what it looks like to you.
Okay.
So it's like 8 hours of PTO extra on top of like just being a
slap that bass
to just not come in if you feel like shit. Oh, by the way, Slack message PD. You could
okay.
coming in for you in a bit.
All right. But yeah. But as aside from that, you guys so you hand him the
I hand him the letter.
Okay. So he hands oh, thank you. Okay. He opens it up and starts to read it. Starts to read it, and he kind of has a bit of shock on his face. He or as the book says, he blanches when the note is read.
Do you think for sure that we would go to the old alchemist in the woods, or perhaps wear diving bells?
But yeah, he looks at it, it's like, understood right away. And then I have the equipment here, and then he hurriedly goes to the back, and starts to bring out these almost like what look they're such around they're like a helm. They're like steel and glass. They kind of they almost look like a cage wrapped around a fish bowl. You can imagine that, but like bigger size. And ultimately, he brings out about 5 of them. Brings out about 5 of them. It's like, here, they're yours. No questions asked. Or no, well, he didn't say that, but. But here, this one's
only then, a couple of questions first.
Like mortal, okay, how much do we pay you for this? Like the Hector goes, they're yours. No questions asked. I won't ask any questions. Thank you for your patience. Here, just no problem.
I want to ask a few questions of why you're so quick to get
Hey,
rid of
Solero,
this.
let's go. It's fine, I'm sure.
Is it okay. And then Mortal proceeds to kind of like put the breathing bubbles, which are their breathing bubbles, into the bag.
I want to ask, like, how do these things work?
So
Anything special we should know?
So there. So you put you wear the sphere over your head, and it contains typically, you feel it. It's a sphere with like a slightly tacky outer surface, and there's a kind of like it's hard. You don't see it, but if you kind of like put your hand in the middle, you can kind of sense a slight difference in air. So yeah, this will give you 1 hour underwater, breathable air. And once you use that up, it at dawn it replenishes. It regains all anything it expends. As far as air.
Was that on a 24-hour cycle? Is that like triggered by the sunrise? Is it? What if we were in space? What would happen then? Like, how about underwater? Perhaps like.
It is
Boss NASA's.
It is going to be.
It knows the time zone.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
It knows. It knows. It's one of those connections with the sun at dawn. Yeah.
Is this a divine magic, or is this like?
It is a wondrous item, nonetheless.
Okay.
Okay.
And as this is,
No
he
questions
gives a
asked.
description.
Thank you very much for your time.
Sweet. I'll
Alright,
take that description.
Yeah. If you need the description, it gives you a description, and if you need to look it up again, it's in D&D Beyond as breathing bubble.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
So they're kind of like pretty detailed. And then is there anything else anybody else needs to acquire from Hector?
Good question.
I need to restock on my bullets, even though I'm gonna be underwater while I'm here. Also, I've got money for other people. Like at least that 100 gold to split between people,
yeah.
and I've got other money that we have been paid. So if you want to buy stuff, let me. The Bank of Toby is
So
open.
I'm gonna say anything you need to restock on. You should be able to look up the value just on it of itself, and you can restock on that and just tick off, or ask Toby to tick off the value.
Is there arrows?
There's he has a Fletcher hookup, so he has arrows available. So however many arrows you have.
If I may ask for 4 of those arrows.
Let's see how much
what
arrows
price would be on that?
Hey,
it's
party. Live dangerously. Pick up as many as you need.
Look, in every game I play, I have this weird thing about rounding my ammo, and I'm at 26.
Yeah,
so
that's fine. That's
4
fine.
is what I need because I'm weird.
Yes.
I ain't yucking your yums. It's fine.
I did the shit in WoW too. When hunters had ammo, I've always bought in multiples of 50 or 100 because I'm stupid. I'm not really OCD, but certain things I'm like, I want a round number. I want it to look good. I want it to say the thing.
Okay, trying to find.
I think
also
I'm
have a lapdog.
good.
A ventriloquist dummy?
Oh yeah, did you buy that thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
That thing's almost that's a bad omen right there. You do not buy. If somebody is selling a used ventriloquist doll, I think I've seen plenty of horror television shows targeted toward children.
Also, what about bows? Is there bows? Is there cool bows?
I'm sure there's cool bows. I bet you could like roll a die.
So
I bet if you ask
look around
more questions.
Yeah. Yeah, you do kind of like looks around as far as like weapons. You'll find basically you find quite several options for bows. Nothing major as far as like super crazy magical. Just some good quality short bows and long bows. But yeah, anything basically anything under 200 gold in the player's handbook as far as like weapons you'll be able to find here. Adventuring gear.
Okay, I think I'll just go for the arrows.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find. Okay, it's under adventuring gear. There you go. Ammunition.
Goat chain mail over here. For some reason.
How many silver is a gold? It's 10, right?
10.
Yeah. I don't. Is the exchange rate that way in this?
I think it is.
Yeah, as long as you don't pay attention to Electrum, it goes copper, silver, gold, platinum. 10 to 10.
Not in
10 to 1.
Coppers are pennies, silvers are dimes, and gold are Sacagawea dollars.
I'm pretty sure
That's
that.
pretty easy way to think of it.
But I think Greyhawk is steel is worth more than gold or something. So there's always like old things that break my brain.
But yeah,
silly.
So like 20 arrows is a gold. So if you just need like 4, it's a fifth of that. So 2 silver pieces will cover you for that. And what just 2 silver pieces basically cost. So you can just not take that off of your D&D Beyond. Just take 2 silver off of your, and then fill up your arrows. Sling bullets are, you can get like 20 bullets for like 4 copper.
Yeah.
So you can like do the math.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'll just buy a box of 20, like the shotgun shells.
Yeah, just make sure and then put that in your inventory and take off your costs.
I got it.
Yeah. Do you have a pocket full of shells?
40.
I hear Tom Morello's a giant dick.
He's a very intelligent giant dick.
Sometimes very intelligent people. That's a side effect.
Alright, so breathing bubbles.
Breathing bubbles.
Bubbles. Tiny bubbles.
Okay, so we have
bubble up. Bass guitars.
All right,
that big rack. You didn't get that rack.
No.
I think
I wanted that CD player. I wanted that 1000-watt amp. Or maybe that other 1000-watt amp.
CDs really, really loud.
Not gonna worry about
it. Had XLR output. How cool is that?
So breathing bubbles. Yeah. So he puts those into the bag of holding. Has those available. Yeah, it's like, and then there's 5 of them. So, theoretically, looks like there's one for all of us. But I mean, you said an hour. I mean, I can hold my breath for an hour, so it's probably an extra one.
Okay, goat.
Do you think the captain would want to go with us?
I mean, I think she should.
I was assuming there'd be one for the goat.
I don't think Chavo's going to do too well underwater.
Chavo
What about
Swift.
Pseudo Dragon? Pseudo Dragon got gills, or like
Pseudo Dragon's like
lungs that.
I am
just
gonna
put
have
the
to.
Pseudo Dragon in it. It's just
I have to take Chavo somewhere where he will be safe.
The boat.
Did we make enough friends on the boat? I didn't think about this. Now I feel bad.
Oh, there was that nice elf we met. What was his name? Like Tilly or something? Dilly-you. There we go. Hey, maybe Dilly-you can take care of Chavo.
Yeah.
It'll be like the horse that we don't have. Totally never ever had ever. Chavo could just like,
the horse that's presumably waiting for you in the back of.
No, we just returned him and we're like, keep the change.
I mean, I'm never been that attractive.
That can't be good for self-esteem to just once a day hear, because you're not all that attractive.
It's probably just once a Monday.
Yes.
Because it's a song about D&D, I assumed.
Yes, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Or it's this fantasy world. The hook is Dungeons and Dragons. Yes. But yes. Port of Call. So anything else? I mean, as far as like what you see around the smith, it's just your basic weapons and armor. Nothing magical or out of the ordinary.
Daisy, you need to go find that Borders.
At Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Our
Willis
Borders
Scrolls a
are-
Million.
Yeah,
I saw the
ours
Scrolls a
turned into
Million. I can tell you where that one is.
Ours turned into a fan.
Books and baubles.
Right. Tiny bubbles.
But yeah, so you guys head out.
Yeah. that poor shopkeeper is like, get out. Okay, yeah, but I want to buy some ammo first.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patronage. Have a great day. Yeah, it's a little like harried, but like very kind,
And
very
we're
polite.
standing
I still
in there,
give
be
him
like, "Well,
sort
fit
of
on
a side
Chavo?"
eye, like a the hell are you?
He's very like he's very wide,
magical items
uncomfortable
that he
smile
gave to us.
and sweating.
And we're
Right,
like
bushy
handling
tail.
these things as if they're like,
Wide
no
Cocaine
discretion.
out, fucking paranoia, motherfucker. Like what? The
And there's a turtle just stuffing them in this tiny pouch.
But can
All
we
fit.
fit the pseudo dragon inside of one? The
Probably
shopkeeper's
not.
trying to shush us and push us.
I wonder, like, but yeah, as you head out, so what is next on the agenda? For the
Find
group, or
magic
for individuals.
in text form for our monk.
You guys
Yeah,
head over to the book.
Yeah, the bookshop. I'm okay with kind of hanging out with the group a little bit. I would also like to just see if there's like a general store available.
Yeah, so there's a couple of general stores. You can stop in. It's not hard to find those. There's a few bookshops. Let's see. Give me an investigation check to see how could you find one that might be more interesting than the others.
I rolled a 13.
So it's not hard to find a nice, well-stocked bookstore. Like there are you walk in the door. There's people shopping in the door. There's shelves of, various kind of like attractive tomes and books. There's different sections for like adventure tales. There's ones for bromance, and there's
Harlequins.
I thought you said bromance. Like, wow, there's specifically a bromance section.
There's a smaller section of like maybe some history books, but mostly but not a huge amount. This is definitely like more like there's more fiction stuff and more like novels and things like that. Yeah, equivalent. You find
I would go ahead.
oh yeah, you just find like there's a few copies of like Tusk Love, like I mentioned. You find a few copies of the what were some of the books? The Slayer of Damali Bay over by the thriller section. You find the Marauders of the Menagerie. The things like that.
What's this Tusk Love? You've mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah,
it's one of the more
like a walrus love tale.
You kind of like it. You the shop owner is like, yes, he's interested. It's a pretty popular one nowadays. It's about the romance of it's a very kind of a super tawdry tale, but it's this star-crossed romance between an orc and a noble woman. An orc ship hand and a noble woman. It is fun. Has a lot of great romance moments, and it's perfect for a night alone with your wine.
How much is it?
Let's see, how much is a book? Let's say.
Search book.
Yeah. What does the book cost? I like choose. I would say like just this I'll say like 4 silver pieces.
Sold.
Yeah.
I got some reading material.
There you go.
Like it. I'm just gonna figure out how to add. How do I add to my inventory?
Yeah, you can manage.
Oh, here we
equipment.
go. There's an extra click now.
Yeah.
Book. I'm adding. Cool.
You can just add measuring gear. Oh yeah, it's an adventuring gear.
Remove. Okay, I'm good. Anybody else need anything here?
Yeah. A book.
No.
I guess that's really. Yeah, and you guys enjoy it's. And you figure there's less historical stuff and less probably of the big stuff here. You'll probably find more of that stuff, either more of what you might be looking for, rather than here at the larboard light, which is you're close to the dock, so you don't have time to kind of go up into like the Gilded Esplanade or the Crescents. There's going to be probably the bigger bookstores up there when you get the chance to come back to Port Damali. You figure something like that will be up there. Yeah, that one is a little. It's not one of those big proper books. It's just a nice light read, and it's that's why it's inexpensive. That's why, unlike the books that you see in like the Player's Handbook, it doesn't cost like 20 something gold. Like it's just like a little book.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Is that what? Because I figured those are $5. A book is listed as £5, and this is
Oh my lord!
in the Player's Handbook. So I'm guessing that must be something a little bit more proper as far as for actual adventuring supplies.
It's a tome.
Yeah, through the tomes. But yeah, so you kind of like spend your time there browsing there, and you kind of like head off. What's next up on the agenda?
Did we see a general store right here in the area?
Yeah, like yeah, you find a nice general goods store that has it has a nice stock of supplies as far as like anything adventuring gear you might need. So basically anything you might need as far as any adventuring gear you might need that's worth 50 gold or less, they have like in supply. It's a nice sizable shop, and they have pretty much any like supplies you need to stock up on, or there's the store, the clerk, it's kind of a taller elf male there, and he can guide you. He can like signals around and ask you, well, what can I help you guys out with? What can I supply with?
Do you have any potions of healing?
See that?
Oh, is that what you were looking for?
Huh?
So I will say, we usually don't dabble in the potions here. I can point you to a couple of apothecaries in the area where we get potions.
I'll say, I didn't realize you were looking for that. Yeah, I saw one on our way.
Cool.
But we have your basic adventure supplies, rope, parchments, tents, any kind of like good supply stores. We have food, we have our grocery section. We have the grocery aisle. We have the stationery aisle. We have the
Nice.
wines.
I think I'm good on just kind of other general things. Anybody else need to stock up on anything?
Nah, I'm good.
Do I have fish on me?
I can point you in the direction of some fish.
Oh yeah, we have the nice. We get them in, and you can see that he does have some fish on display closer to the front. Some of the local catches. So however much you want to stock up, and as far as like food, see, I want to trade goods.
That would be a good idea to carry a meal or two, and also so I have bribes.
Yes, food.
Taking a dead fish underwater with you.
I
mean, that's the easy way. Taking a live fish underwater with you would be even more difficult to wrangle. But
so yeah,
you
can get like a good supply of fish for a couple gold. I would say that'll get you like about 3. I'll say
Chartreuse snappers.
2 sizable fish. So like I'm gonna say you can have let's see, as far as meat chunks, you can add chunks of meat. Let's see,
meat chunks.
6 chunks of meat.
Fish meat chunks.
Fish sticks.
Did they have fish jerky?
I'm not seeing it in D&D Beyond.
So under equipment, you should be able to find meat. I'll go search for meat. Oh no, they don't have it.
Chunk quantities.
It doesn't filter for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you can. I think you can probably.
I could probably just add item.
Add a custom item, and put like meat chunk, or like meat, comma chunk, and have like 6 of those. And then if you're okay with it, knock off 2 gold.
Yep. So I have 761 at this point.
Oh my good lord.
We have a lot of gold. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
We have a ton.
I don't have that much.
How fat's your wallet there, Drew? What did you say?
7 something?
Yeah, we've got in my chest and the community chest combined.
Yeah.
We're rocking almost a cool 1,000 gold.
Yes.
Why I'm cool on taking a flyer on some fucking fish.
I'm okay with not calculating how much gold weighs in this quantity.
Yeah.
I forgot I bought a horse and I donated a bunch to the temple.
That's right. You got to pay off God to give you blessings.
You spoke to a man about a horse.
That's right.
And that man fleeced you.
Yeah. So you guys kind of like stock up and on those things.
Magic beans.
Presumably, unless there's anything else, you guys head out. Lucius guides you to where he saw that
The apothecary.
The
scrollery.
Yes, please.
Yes. You see. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this generator. You see. It's walks up to like this alley, and you see a sign that says, "Alarin's Apothecarium," and it's Alarin. Alarin's Apothecarium. And you see, you walk in the door, and it's a kind of tall taller than you've seen before gnome, female, with kind of like with softer features, and kind of like at the helm, and it's like, oh, welcome. Welcome to Alarin's Apothecarium. My name's Alarin. How may I help you all?
I'm wondering if you have any potions of healing.
I do very much. I have a few. Let me grab the stock. So, I don't have as many things. We're still trying to get restocked now that we're in peacetime. But I do have right here those little blocks. I have 4 potions of healing right here. It kind of pulls out. She pulls out like a tray box, and you see like 4 familiar at this point bottles with like red liquid inside.
All right. How much are these running?
These will be 50 gold apiece.
I will take 1.
Yes.
I'll take 1.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it'll be 50 gold. 50 gold.
Okay.
Manage currency.
Yes, and then you can do a potion of healing. To add a potion of healing to your inventory.
Fabulous. Here you go, Alaren.
Yes.
Anything else kind of, I don't know, anything noteworthy you have in stock today?
Right now, what we have is, we have a few things. Let me pull this one in. Goes over to an area next to the counter, over to the side. So, yes. Pulls out what is like a muddy liquid with kind of shakes it around. There's like some chunks in there. It's like this is a potion of animal friendship. If you ever need to be able to speak with and befriend an animal for a short period of time, this could come in handy.
I'm gonna look at the druid and the ranger and myself and like give the nod of like we all can already do that.
What?
And the cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then,
Okay. Do you happen to have anything that would help someone breathe underwater?
Oh,
Gillyweed.
and then she kind of looks over her inventory. I delivered that to Stefan already. Not at the moment. It would take me a day or 2 to concoct one.
Okay, that's okay. Just checking. Thank you.
Potion of water breathing takes a little bit of time, and I tend to kind of go through them. Even quite a few of the more affluent sailors take them as a good luck charm or as an emergency. So I tend to not be able to keep the breathing potions.
Gotcha. That's okay. Well, thank you. I think I got everything I came here for.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else poke around?
I think I'm good.
I am well.
Okay. Well,
We have majority.
I got nothing. I'm saying.
I am adventure ready.
Yes. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully, I'll see your faces again here at my apothecarium. I will hopefully stock up on a few more potions in the meantime, and I will have these and more when you come back.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And you kind of like head out on your way. And all right, is there anything else that you guys might be interested in checking out before you head back to the ship?
I think I'm good.
Just want to hit up this library.
Okay. The library, yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. So, Do you all go with?
Yeah, I'll go with. I'm just chilling and hanging out.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna say. Okay, so Summer. I'm gonna say with advantage. Give me an investigation check. Yeah, investigation.
Nice.
So yeah, the images and kind of like memories are popping back into your head of like, you spent a little bit of time in Port Damali, so you kind of knew your way of certain areas. Maybe not like the more affluent areas, but the areas here where you've in that brief time where you and Toby were making friends and playing and playing shows here and things like that. You remember certain landmarks, and it's like you're connecting dots. Like you're connecting, like, oh yeah, that reminds me of that other place, that building that was there. And so it takes you no more than like maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours to get there. It takes you exactly the amount of time that it does to beeline it there, because it's a big city. Because you very few lost turns, very few bad turns, very few no wrong turns. Maybe a question of directions too, and then you do find yourself at the Library of the Cobalt Soul. You see a very impressive building, with the adorned with like windows and the very demure, like I don't say very harsh some of the architecture, but with some nice designs. And you see the color schemes are that kind of like blue and gray. Some of the decorations on the front, you do see the sign of the library and of the Cobalt Soul. And yeah, and it impresses you. It's like you think about how it's like several stories high. You can't even kind of like imagine, and you think about like all the books that this place could house and all the information that you could gather, and you think, wow, I might start finding some answers. I might actually find out. I might actually be able to solve some things. Like things might start to come together. And as you stand there, kind of contemplating the possibilities in the future with the Cobalt Soul, I think that's a good point to end tonight. Yeah. Contemplating the future.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But yeah. Thank you all for hanging out with us on this fantastic episode of Through the Tomes. Thank you for hanging out with us live. If you were here with us live, thank you for hanging out with us on the recorded format, if you found us there. Be sure to hang out with us every week here on Rebelli TV for Through the Tomes Live, as we do this every Tuesday, schedules and times permitting. We do this every Tuesday. We also do Record Breakers every Wednesday. Is our music podcast where we share music with each other, an album at a time. It's like fun little book club for music. We also do Space Trucking on Thursdays. Nowadays we just started getting into some Starbound, which it's turning out to be pretty nice, pretty fun game. And
we've punched sticks. We've punched rocks.
Yes.
We have turned punched sticks and punched rocks into stuff.
Yeah, we made some progress.
Space.
Yeah. So look forward to that.
In a bed.
Starbound gets if I remember Starbound correctly, there's a point where that game gets fucking weird.
Yeah. I look forward to farming with my hose. So look forward to that.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yes. But that'll be that. You can follow us at Rebelli TV on Twitch and on YouTube. That's the schedule for the Twitch. I might do streams outside of that. I'm thinking of setting up a pretty consistent, trying to get through Control. I'll be trying to get through that. I'll also probably be doing some No Man's Sky on my own. There's some really exciting stuff to check out there. We'll do more of that. It might not be for the space trekking, but I'll be doing some streams outside of that. So be sure to check that out. Yeah. Check out thetomes.com for all the past episodes, and for this one, as soon as I have it up fairly soon. But yeah, follow, like, share, do all the things. Until next time, hasta los huevos.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Hashtag find Luke.
Cheers. Yarr!